Before you use CapCut again, you need to hear this. I did not plan for this to be my first YouTube video on this channel, but when I read CapCut's terms of service, I knew I had to share, especially because I've used CapCut for years to create my content. Not only that, I taught thousands of creators how to use CapCut with my editing tutorials on TikTok and Instagram. So if you're a creator who cares about your content, your footage, and your brand, I'm gonna take you through the terms of service and highlight 3 main red flags that stuck out to me. And to be clear, I am not a lawyer. I am not giving legal advice. I am simply a content creator who is concerned. So let's dive in. If you want access to CapCut's terms of service, all you need to do is go on Google, type in CapCut's terms of service 2026, and you'll see it. At the top, you will see a date and it'll tell you when it was last updated. So this one was last updated January 22nd, 2026. We are not going to go through this entire thing because as you can see, this is very, very long, but I do want to highlight 3 of the red flags. So let's start with section 3. And I specifically want to focus on this line right here. This says that your continued access to or use of the platform and or services after the effective date of the updated terms constitutes your acceptance of the updated terms. And then it goes on to say, if you do not agree to the updated terms, you must stop accessing or using the platform and services. So basically what this is saying is that if whether or not you agree to the terms by clicking the agree button on one of those pop-ups they typically put on the screen, if you continue to use the platform after it is updated, that is your acceptance of the terms. And that might seem straightforward, it may not, but the reason why I bring this up is because I've seen a lot of conversation on threads and a lot of people were saying, well, I never got a notification, or I saw the notification pop up on the screen, I exited out of the app, I went back into the app, I didn't see it anymore, so I continued editing. But this says that your continued use of the service after an update is your acceptance of the terms. A lot of people feel like you can just get around accepting the terms by not actually clicking a button, but it doesn't work like that. Now let's skip down to section 9, because section 9 is a section that has a lot of the red flags. It starts here. And if we scroll down, you can see that this is a very thick section. There is so much in here, and this is where the red flags are. Now, I can't remember where I saw every little thing, so I did take screenshots. So I'm going to put those on the screen so we can refer to those. What I'm about to read is a little lengthy, but I do want to read most of this so you can kind of see the magnitude. It says, you or the owner of your user content still own the copyright and any other intellectual property rights in user content submitted to us. But by submitting user content via the services, you acknowledge and agree that you allow us to upload such content to our server and hereby grant TikTok USDS joint venture and our affiliates, agents, service providers, partners, and other connected third parties an unconditional, irrevocable, non-exclusive, royalty-free, fully transferable, including sub-licensable, perpetual worldwide license to use, modify, adapt, reproduce, make derivative works of, display, publish, transmit, distribute, and or store your user content for providing the services for you. And I know that was a lot, so I will be referring to my notes to explain this to you. But in layman's terms, they are saying that when you upload your content into CapCut, you technically still own your content, but you grant CapCut to use your content basically however they want. And it's irrevocable. So once you agree, you can't take it back. It's also perpetual, meaning that they can use your content forever. So even when you delete it from the platform, they can still use it. It also says that it's fully transferable and sub-licensable. So basically they can sell your content to whoever in the world. And to top it all off, they can use your content, your image, your voice, and likeness in promotions or ads without paying you. And this is important because if you create content, if you're an editor for someone else, if you have a personal brand, you want to have control over that. And with this, you kind of don't. You don't know know who's using your content. You don't know how it's being used. And that is concerning. And this brings me to the third red flag. It's still in section 9. And it says, by uploading or making available user content to or through the services, you waive any rights to prior inspection or approval of any marketing, advertising, or promotional materials related to such user content. You also waive, to the extent permitted by applicable law, any and all rights of privacy, publicity, or any other rights of a similar nature in connection with your user content or any portion thereof. Now, I'm not going to read all of that. And again, I need to refer to my notes to make sure I explain this right. But basically what they're saying is that they can market your content and they don't have to ask you. It's also saying that you give up your rights of privacy and publicity. So if they use your image, your voice, or your likeness for whatever reason, you can't say, well, they used my image without my permission, or they're violating my privacy rights. Because here it says that you give that up when you agree to the terms. You're also giving up moral rights. So if they use your content in an ad or what have you, they don't have to credit you. And you can't object if they use your content in a way that you don't like. This further goes on to say that you agree to never assert any and all moral rights you may have in or with respect to any of the user content. So simply put, this is saying that you are agreeing that you're not going to make those type of claims and that you're not going to sue them, which again, concerning. As a matter of fact, a lot of what I read today was updated back in 2025, and they received a lot of backlash back then. I'll be honest, I did not read the terms of service all the way through like I did this time, so I wasn't fully aware of how big of a deal this was. But one thing that I wanted to point out is that CapCut ended up releasing a statement on June 23rd, 2025. And if you want to read it for yourself, I will link it in the description. So this is the article right here. It says, we've seen some confusion circulating about CapCut's terms of service. We want to take a moment to clarify what's changed and, more importantly, what hasn't, to help you continue to create with confidence. Now, I'm not going to read all of this, but I will summarize it. Essentially, here is what they said. They said nothing changed in the user generated content section. They said they've never claimed ownership of users' work. They said that the language that people are concerned about has been there for years. And they explained that terms like irrevocable and perpetual are just there because once content is shared, it can't realistically be undone. Now, technically, that's true. You still do own the rights to your content, but ownership and licensing are not the same thing. You can own your content and still grant a company broad rights to use it. And as we read earlier, the license that you're giving them is unconditional, irrevocable, perpetual, fully transferable, sub-licensable, worldwide, and royalty free. So owning your content doesn't really mean much when they can take your content and use it however they want forever. And the craziest part about this statement to me is the very last paragraph. It says, how can I know how my content will be used? And they said, we're committed to transparency, protecting creators' rights, and helping our users create, edit, and share their best work with confidence, and will continue to notify you when we update our terms of service or our community guidelines. So essentially, I am supposed to just trust that you are only doing with our content what's supposed to be done and not anything else sketchy. I mean, there is a lot of stuff in those terms. To me, that just sounds like PR. Just because you're committed to doing something doesn't mean that you can't renege. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if they really cared to protect creators, they wouldn't require us to hand over such a broad license to our content. That's just me though. At the end of the day, you have a choice of whether or not you want to use CapCut. But if you don't want to use CapCut anymore, I completely understand. So I want to share some of the editing softwares that I plan on using. And let's be honest, there aren't really any apps that compare directly to CapCut. It's one of the few editing apps that is easy to use, that's available for both iOS and Android users, and it can be used on both mobile and desktop. I feel like a lot of editing softwares could use an upgrade in that regard. But with that being said, for desktop editing, I plan on going back to Final Cut Pro. That's what I was using before I started using CapCut. CapCut. Final Cut Pro is not as simple to use as CapCut is, but compared to other pro software like DaVinci Resolve and Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro is definitely the easiest in my opinion. The only downside to it is that it's only for Apple computers. Now, I'm also considering using Descript, but I will need to try it for a month to see if I like it, and if I do, I will definitely make a video on it. Now, for mobile editing, I plan on using InShot. InShot was one of the first mobile editors I ever used, and although it's not the exact same as CapCut, it's still a solid app with a lot of great features. They do have a free version, but if you want the pro version, it's $4.99 a month, or you could pay $14.99 for the entire year. And if you want to learn how to edit on InShot, I'm breaking it all down in my next video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. I'll see you next time.